The Market Theatre and the Roodepoort Theatre are currently presenting the theatre production Kamphoer, the verhaal van Susan Nell. The production, based on a true story, follows an unspeakable ordeal during the Anglo Boer War in the Winburg concentration camp. Performed by South African theatre legend Sandra Prinsloo, this powerful solo production tells a story of a family who dealt with devastating loss that will haunt them forever. Following Susan's father's death during the war, she and her mother end up in a concentration camp where she's brutally raped and left for dead. To tell us more about this compelling story is Sandra Prinsloo herself. Sandra, a very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning. Thank you very much. Nice to be talking to you.
It's a pleasure having you on the show this morning, Sandra.
Thank
now, the
you.
play is based on a true story about events that took place during the Anglo Boer War. Take us through why you deemed it fitting to be a part of this production.
Well, when I first read, two novels have been written about the story of Susan Nell. And anyway, when I read them, I thought this is a story that needs to be told because although it's set in history and set very particularly in the Anglo Boer War, it is a story that still resonates with women all over the world. Nothing has really changed, you know. If you look at the news nowadays, you still see what's happening to women in refugee camps. You see how they have no protection, how women are raped, and then also the enormous impact that it has on their lives psychologically. So for me, it's very much a story of our time as well.
Now, the play chronicles Susan, who has had to overcome some, I would say, traumatic experiences such as rape and losing a father. So
Yeah.
how was it for you? I mean, how was it transforming yourself to such an emotional character?
Well, it's always it's a long journey because she not only loses a father, she also loses a mother and a little brother. And she's left for dead. But, you have to delve quite deep into yourself. I think we all have, we all know loss. We've all, I've lost both my parents. I cannot imagine losing a sibling. It's the most awful thing. So one delves very deep into your own subconscious and your own life experience, of course. But then also being an actress, you observe. One is really an observer of life, and you observe how other people have to deal with it. And for me, Susan was just a marvelous challenge to look at how do you overcome all that loss in your life. Because she does overcome it in the end. She comes out quite triumphant. And, the biggest challenge for me was when she's actually eventually confronted with her rapist, what is she going to do with him?
Sure.
Because all she wants to do is kill him, but she's become a nurse and she's taken an oath. And in the oath you say, I will do no harm, I must save lives. So that was a very interesting dilemma to look at, and work through. And then, of course, I had a wonderful director, Laura Foote, who could guide and help. And we talked about it forever. And we talked about the wound and about how one needs to touch the wound before you can start looking at healing. You have to really be able to go to that place of pain.
And even while trying to deal with the trauma and the pain that she's faced with, living it again when she comes across one of the men who raped her, as you just mentioned, how does she navigate her way through trying to live a normal life while also being left to deal with the demons of the past?
I think the problem is that she isn't left really to live a normal life. It might seem like a normal life, but I think that the scarring is so deep that no woman, if she doesn't have counseling and help, can actually live a normal life because I think that the scars are very deep. For me, it's a very interesting thing. I have done one-woman shows that deal with cancer, that deal with old age and loss and disintegration. And I've had so many people come to me afterwards and sharing their stories with me and telling me how they'd lost a son from cancer or they'd lost a mother. So people come forward with their stories. And it's very interesting, this story which deals with woman abuse, only one person came forward and said, don't tell anybody, but it happened to me when I was young. And for me, that was such an eye-opener and such a shocker that, it's such a deep wound that people don't actually
Okay.
live normal lives in terms of that they can't talk about it. You know?
Yes, yes. So what has the reception of the play been, and what would you like people to take away after seeing it?
Oh, it's been wonderful. The reception's been wonderful. It's won numerous awards. But that's, for me, awards are one thing. That is wonderful to get awards, yes. But on the other side, it's really the audience response has been wonderful. I've had audiences that are very, very, very mixed in age, in colour, but the response has always been that absolute dead silence, and especially at the end of the play where they almost don't know what to do. And people have said to me that, you know, they take away with them is so much that they have to think about it, and the play doesn't leave them. And for me, that's very gratifying when that happens, because it means people are actually, you know, trying to deal with something new in their lives. Because, you know, we all read about it, in the papers, but we don't always have to deal with it. And I think sitting in a theatre and being confronted with the actual physical presence of something like that is very different. So yeah, I'm gratified, and I hope that it will change a society in a small way, or even if it changes a few people in a society, that will be a great, great reward.
And perhaps one of the biggest themes is dealing with trauma. What is the central theme in this particular play, and that people should just engage with and embrace it?
Absolutely, and go for help. You know, there are people that can help. You know, you need to talk about it. You need to get it out of your system. Otherwise, you cannot carry on with your life. It becomes the most important thing in your life, and that's not the way forward. So, but then also for people who have not been traumatized, to actually look at it and try and understand. And also, you know, for men especially, to see what the impact is on a woman's life.
Yeah. And how long is the show running for, and where can people catch it?
We are running at the Market Theatre until the middle of February, and then after that we are going to Roodepoort. They can contact Anthony at the Market Theatre or go onto the Market Theatre's website. Okay,
do you want to share those details?
I don't have them in front of me, I'm sorry. But Anthony you would just go into the Market Theatre's website, which would be www.themarkettheatre.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sandra, great chatting to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for talking to me.
Well, that was Sandra Prinsloo talking to us about theatre production Kamphoer, the verhaal van Susan Nell, which is currently taking place at the Market Theatre in Johannesburg.